on there, but like third nipple exposed, and then he'll just put it on there. So
damn.
Mark Wahlberg, this bitch.
Does he have 3 nipples?
He does.
Take random facts about Mikey Mark for 300.
Yeah.
Feel the vibration in his third nipple.
Oh, Brant's on his song kick again. Here we go. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in for Brant's song kick.
I can't help it. I have a musical mind, and it immediately goes there.
You sound stuffy. You good?
Yeah. I have people that I work around that come to work sick, so.
Oh, beautiful.
Turn gets other people sick, so.
Gross.
But I've been taking everything under the sun, so it's pretty much run its course now.
Gross.
And never got very serious.
That'll show it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it knows.
Not to fuck with Brand McKee.
Do not fuck with Brant McKee. He is not to be fucked with. Especially if you're a viral infection.
I forgot to show you all the stickers I got from GameStop.
Go
on. Your payment for the Game Informer stuff?
Hey, I emailed them immediately and I've got nothing back.
You will not get anything back.
Oh, that's the word?
I know, right? Now you get those coupons for being a member or whatever, being a pro member and all that. There's no added subscription. There's no...
Hey, I'll let mine go. I was getting it for the magazine and they stopped shipping my fucking physical copy.
I know. So it's like, well, I don't really need that anymore.
We will discuss. We'll discuss the slow death of video game press. I mean, are we down to influencers? Are we the press now? What's that, Cesar?
We never will be. We'll never will be.
We'll never be the press?
No. Are you saying we're depressed or the press?
I mean, pretty sure I've been depressed before. I'm not trying to hone in on that part. Okay, let's do it. Fine. You asked me. Let's go. Let's hone in on that part. That's fine. No,
Rich was like, it all started when I was 5.
Yes. Younger actually.
Mom took away the Perfect Dark that I rightfully paid for.
What was that, like 13 or 14? Mom took away Ninja Turtles at a younger age because it made me violent.
Sure. It's those damn turtles.
I know, they're horrible. They're teenage and mutants.
You need to read the Bible, which has only wholesome things in it. Like,
killing firstborns and...
Nothing.
War, famine.
Nothing ever bad happens in there.
Oh, Brant's gone to Darksiders games now. Yeah. Death.
Pestilence.
Greed.
Pestilence. He's over there giving previews of our newsletter.
Oh, maybe so. Oh yeah, Darksiders and Game Informer. We're touching on it all.
Yeah.
It's a rough start. It'll be
touch a lot down here, right?
We always touch a lot
on our podcast.
We always touch below the belt. Or not.
Ayo.
I need to get another bulb down here. That bulb's out. So I feel like I'm super shiny, like forehead shiny up here, but then there's like a clear division of being less illuminated the further down I go. We all need influencer lights. Brant, you have an influencer light, don't you?
I have 2. Hence the lighting.
2 influencer lights. I don't have this.
I'm not on the ring light level here, but
should we be? Are those expensive?
No.
Cesar, what are you rocking?
Sure you can pick up a cheap one.
What's your lighting situation?
We saw his setup.
Right. Yeah, it's like a neon rope thing with some lights up top. I mean, most of the people I tend to support in my job tend to have what the brand set up on their ring light and have it attached to their laptop device for their meetings. So that's a common thing.
Stare at that the whole time.
I just have 2 of these.
Mine is just a repurposed lamp. That's what I'm saying. I need a bulb. The lamp is just... lamp is just shining at me.
Because otherwise, it's like I look like I'm the anonymous source in an interview.
We see it when you cut it off.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll do it for early viewers.
We brought in one of their coworkers who wished to not be named. Yeah.
I was there when I heard the voice, two voices talking about the murder.
I heard the voice and I came out. Where are those on? I used to watch a lot of those.
I don't know. They used
scramble
to be
their voice and everything.
A common thing.
Yeah.
And it was always the same thing. You could kind of see the background,
right?
And you just saw the silhouette of the person. And yeah, like they scrambled the voice. It was all deep.
And it was totally nondescript. Whatever the outline of the person was, totally nondescript.
Yeah.
It's like I cannot tell what that person is at all. Nationality, ethnicity, sexuality, nothing. It's totally nondescript. It's just. What would I have been watching? That's like a young memory, right? Like,
yeah. Hey, I remember being like such a little lad and watching
in 2003
unsolved mysteries and shit like that. So
on your widescreen TV as a youngster,
widescreen,
high definition widescreen TV. I was only 3.
I think we had a.
Murmy says, "Who's that Pokemon?" That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate.
Yes, who's that Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon? It's Goofy. Cesar, it's Goofy.
It's Goofy. Good.
That thing is so fucked up. Oh, it's a guaranteed laugh every time I see it, though.
Yes, it's very. Was it a very inappropriately descriptive, right? It looks like something else is happening.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It's like your Resident Evil 6 logo thing. Yes. It's borderline that.
Oh no.
Oh, did y'all see the have you seen the Paris Olympic Games logo? The torch, it's supposed to be like a torch.
Yes.
Also looks like Mary J. Blige. If you look at it again, just think Mary J. Blige. It's like the hair is framing the face and everything. It's perfect. Okay. It's really good. Another one of the you can't unsee it Resident Evil 6 giraffe, whatever's happening there thing that we all know and love. I can't look at it and not see it. I got ruined for that.
I don't ever think about it until you mention it every time.
I do every time. I do every time. Giraffe. The giraffe's like getting into it, like rocked back on his heels and shit. It's fucked up. Yes, Brant, thank you. Rocked back on its heels. There's Brant displaying for all to see. Resident Evil 6 logo.
Just looks like a 6 to me.
Show me on the giraffe where they touched you.
Oh god, it's so wrong. Oh, how did that pass any sort of QC? No checks and balances on that one.
They didn't have
just like a.
They didn't have somebody with a dirty mind on the QC team. That's why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The shirt that was provided to us that was shown to Cesar, to which he confirmed.
Hey man,
I definitely don't have anymore.
There was a.
It's definitely gone.
There's a site I support where somebody had taken down the art, and I never seen it, but they were they all were all in agreement because it had a flake design in all the art. That's what they said. And it's like thrown in a closet somewhere. I was like, "What's that?" It's like all the art with the. It was too. They couldn't unsee it, so they had to take it down.
Oh.
I think it was just like plants it was just plants and flowers and stuff on the art from what I was told. But
goodness,
had a phallic design on there is what they said. So.
Like mushrooms, maybe? Was it mushroom mask?
I never got to see it. I was like, they were like, no, we don't look at that. That's what they said. And so I was like, all right.
Burn this material. Hide this stuff. All right, boys, let's get rocking and rolling. 313 is number 8, Brant.
Yep. I mean, you don't have to believe me.
I'm hitting record.
Never do.
I just posted 312, so I'm pretty sure this is the next iteration of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 313 of the NOFODcast. We are no outside food or drink the Southeast premier video game and questionable art content podcast. Send us your ink blots. We'll tell you what genitalia it reminds us of most. Actually, maybe don't do that. In tonight's news.
Why?
Please don't.
Yeah, Russell's filtering all the ink blot genitalia. In tonight's...
He's been doing it for so long. He's been doing it for so long.
Yes, I come back. He's
still doing it now.
He's mired in all the submissions. On tonight's news, gone after 33 years. That can't be Brant. He's much younger than that. Dark days for Bungie. Brant's catching the youthful stray bullets for some reason.
It's exactly as old as I am.
That's very on the nose. Announcements from THQ Nordic Showcase? Question mark. What were these? What was announced? Find out later. Hopefully we get a Time Splitters update. Spoilers, I don't think that's in there. There is a new game on Nintendo Switch Online Plus. It's the Plus one, right? You got to have the family provided tier or the solo provided tier. And we have your August Game Pass titles. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee.
What's up?
Brant,
I'm here.
Brant, thanks for building the news.
You're welcome.
And for always having an image of Resident Evil 6 logo prepared to display
Of course.
whenever the need arises. Once again,
Always.
It's always within reach for Brant.
I know, is your copy of Days Gone one of them? I know you don't want to have to pick between them. Is one of your copies of Days Gone also very close by?
Well, let's see.
I feel like you used to reach in another
D
direction.
as in Days Gone.
I feel like you
Right
used
here.
to reach to the opposite direction. Was that in a previous abode? Maybe? The Days
Yes.
Gone bit's pretty old. It's a couple years old now.
Yeah. I mean,
Days
Brand will bring it back, and then we'll maybe get a sequel, because he keeps bringing back Days Gone.
Oh, Brant, is that what you put in the news for Gone after 33 years?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Also here, well after 33 years, Lore Master and Page Master, Cesar Concepcion II. Cesar, welcome.
I mean, if he would have just put the Dark Days for Bungie and then Gone after 33 years, then he would have had Days Gone. But
Oh, we
shit.
see what you did there. This is subliminal news making by Brant to try to get us to play Days Gone.
I saw it already. It was there. I was like, oh.
Wait, isn't Renee a big Days Gone fan? Don't we always come back to Renee and his Days Gone love?
Yeah.
There it is, Brant.
Plus,
Thank you
I've
for
got
clarifying.
my.
I
I
don't know
mean,
if
look
Renee's
at the
played it.
beard.
Oh,
I'm wearing
Brant,
the
you
black
look
hat
like
backwards.
you're a character model.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to get you guys there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Days Goner.
Bringing it to existence, man. That's how you do it. Just keep talking about it.
Gone are the days.
Days
Let's
Gonest.
do it.
They've already said that franchise is like gone, right? There's no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it sold well. I think it didn't hit their whatever their weird review metric
These
thing. is
shit,
what-
these shit
pulled it off
metrics
for 'em.
these days.
Yeah.
Was that one of the ones tied to like Metacritic type success instead of sales?
Yeah, I remember because I think it had to be like, what is it, like 80 or above or something like that. It didn't hit that number. It sold well, but it didn't hit that number. And they were like, we don't invest in that. So
I hate that the industry funneled us straight from Metacritic scores being a success metric to straight into do people play it every day and log in and have a battle pass and all that. It's like we never had a break between those two. It just went from one to the next. It was like, ooh, this sucks. Can it get worse? Actually, yes, it can. Actually can. We're going to cancel games if we don't think people can. We'll be able to log in every day and check a battle pass and do 5 different things that they want to do.
it's, I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't know.
Hey, but at least most of those
these accounting spreadsheets. So
that too. At least most of those are free. And then Concord's like, hold my beer.
yeah.
When does that come out? Is it?
When that soon? It's gonna be interesting when that comes out. How
Yeah.
it's gonna be either chronicled about how surprisingly well it did than what people previously thought it was gonna be, or how bad it did as people always thought it was gonna be. It's gonna be one of the
I'm
two.
still tempted. I had
Yeah.
fun with it. I had fun with my time.
I mean, Renee's brought it up. It's like, hey, is the beta still happening? I mean, I don't know if Renee's gonna spend money on it, but
So Cesar, you're the only one so far out of the squad that's invested.
sure, I'll pre-order. That's fine. I spent worse things on $40 before, and it's already taken out of my account when I pre-ordered it in like June. So
Yeah.
it's not like I got to pay it next week because or whenever it comes out. I think in like 2 weeks. It's like the 20th or something like that.
Curious, might join you for a stream of like some of the modes and stuff and see how that goes.
I'll stream it all. That's fine. Hopefully, I won't get the weird political people that just went on town when I was playing Apex, and I was like, oh god.
What happened?
It is the 23rd.
I don't want to talk about it. Just
oh god.
I just wanted to play a game of Apex, and then it.
Did you stream it?
No, thank.
Oh, okay.
No, I would have cut stream.
There were people in your group, in your squad.
I mean, this is what happens when you squad up with
randos.
People,
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be part of it. Thank you, Brand, for getting us that release date. Appreciate you.
August 23rd. 2 weeks.
2.5.
2.5 weeks away.
Yep. Very soon.
All right, let's get into this news. This is a garbage beginning to the show, but it needs to be reported, I guess.
I mean, it's every other week at this point, so...
It's always something along this line, right?
Mm-hmm.
This comes from Jordan Midler at VideoGamesChronicle.com. Game Informer magazine to close after 33 years. The magazine was owned by U.S. retailer GameStop. The long-running U.S. publication will close its doors following over 3 decades. A letter posted to X reads, after 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. Royal leaders.
Royal works, too.
Royal leaders.
Yeah.
While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. Veterans of Game Informer include Andy McNamara, the publication's former editor who now works at EA. I couldn't remember where he landed. I kept thinking of Andy McNamara during all this. He was the editor
he was over like the Battlefield stuff, remember? He talked a lot about the Battlefield stuff.
He was editor-in-chief there for like 25 years? Long time.
They all read the tea leaves and got out, so...
Yeah. Bush says East Bay Magazine and now this. Yes, you guys remember East Bay Magazine with like shoes and bats and gloves and all sorts of stuff? I visited that website recently, and it redirected to champsports.com. So I was like, I guess the East Bay is not a thing anymore. Another defining publication. Dan Reichert, now of Giant Bomb, and Ben Hansen, now of MinMax. They all chimed in. MinMax has kind of picked up the... I guess we'll get into that in a second. MinMax is made of a bunch of former Game Informer people.
That's when they did their first initial layoff, is when those people got together and made MinMax.
Yeah. Ben Hansen and... Was it... it's not... Kyle Hilliard? Yeah. There's a bunch of Game Informer alums. I'm always wondered why Dan Reichert didn't end up in that crew. That would have been a wild crew over there. That would have been some really good content.
That was in this weird spot when he was with WWE.
Yeah. In between Giant Bomb tenures.
Mm-hmm.
Game Informer is known for its unprecedented access, revealing dozens of games during its history. Game Informer's parent company, GameStop, laid off several staff from its magazine operation in 2022. The aforementioned exodus, Cesar is mentioning. For the majority of its run, Game Informer was only available via a GameStop-backed subscription. In 2024, it offered readers the chance to subscribe to the magazine outside of a GameStop membership, to which, when that was announced, I subscribed day one to a 2-year subscription, and now Cesar's saying those, I guess I go with my credit card company. Those purchases are not going to be refunded? Has that been...
You're supposed to contact the email, supposedly.
I did. As soon as I got an email, I said, I hate that you guys are jobless, but...
Whether or not they... I mean, that going away letter looked like, as Jason Schreier pointed out, it was written in ChatGPT, so with all that stuff on there, so I don't even know if that email address is being looked at. I mean, I don't know at that point. It's weird. I mean, you have to at some point offer something for somebody. I mean, you're probably going to get like a silly $5 off coupon probably. Or prorated return or something like that, depending on how many years you bought into it. That would be my guess. Is it the right thing to do? Probably not. But I mean,
I got 2 years. I think about $20. I think it was $20 for a 2-year subscription. That's why I was like, hell yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Or I can go with my credit card
coupons,
company.
You never know.
Yeah, to go back to GameStop to get something. Blech.
Some Funko Pops. Yeah.
But apparently part of this, they don't touch on in this article, but I've been following some of the writers and staff and stuff from Twitter that they're locked out of everything. They can't archive anything. They can't back up anything.
So this happened, I guess.
I feel like it was
yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like it was yesterday. It feels like it was Monday.
Some of the, or at least one of the fired employees had access to the Game Informer Twitter.
Yeah.
Or X, whatever you want to
Still
call it.
Twitter.
And
we used to call it Twitter.
Posted a thing here saying our 33-year legacy deserves a genuine goodbye.
Right.
Written by a former Game Informer member. We are heartbroken by the shutdown of our publication, yet we leave with pride, knowing we poured everything we had into it. In the words of our editor-in-chief, be well, play well. And they have a photo of the editor-in-chief, magazine content director, and all this, just listing everybody's names.
It's like the final staff,
course,
right? It was only like 12 to 14 people, and they were being sent on assignment and putting all the editorials together. And
then, of course, as soon as GameStop, the parent company, was able to find this and get a hold of it, they completely not just deleted the tweet, they completely nuked the account.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Stop GameStop.
I mean, we can't have nice things with GameStop, right?
Not even print magazines. Just Funko Pops.
Funko Pops and T-shirts and
occasionally looking in there
cards
for old school stuff and see if there's any old school stuff in there. Somebody randomly traded in.
Merchandising will only get you so far, right? So, I mean, at some point that should be whittling out at some point.
This is a big loss. This was the last. Is there any other gaming magazine that we can subscribe to easily? This was the last one. No more GamePro. No more.
There was one in the UK for a while. I don't know if that ever closed down, right? That was like the last one in the Europe.
Who's doing that? Is that Game? Did they just call that Game magazine?
I think it's just called Game.
Yeah.
But that may not be around.
Or that may be the publication of the retailer, because their big GameStop is just called Game over there.
Which I think they're getting out of the gaming business, right? Didn't we read about that?
Physical media, I think, was winding down.
Yeah.
Game is getting out of the gaming business. That's not good.
I think they were going the same route as GameStop, right? Where they were going mostly in merchandising and T-shirts.
Oh, I hate it. Funko Pops,
action figures, and stuff like that. So.
Merchandising. This sucks. I hate it for the 12 to 14 people that were left. They deserve better fate. Their past couple issues were really good. They had a deep dive into Video Game History Foundation in like the second to last issue, and that was a really good read. But I always look forward to the cover. Like they had a cover reveal every month, and that was always a big deal. And I sold Game Informer subscriptions for a certain percentage of my life, and during certain eras of its run, it did feel like advertising for the parent company, or at least under some sort of pressure of, and I'm not accusing anybody of this, but at least under some sort of pressure of, we need to sell a shit ton of copies of this. Don't pan this thing. Don't make this. This might be an iterative NCAA, but we sell a shit ton of copies of NCAA football. I need this score to be pretty decent. I need it to be solid. But I'm not calling anybody's journalistic integrity into question. Yeah, that's my experience working for the retailer that produced the magazine that I was also made to sell. So
yeah, I mean we all saw that before, where people badmouth certain games, and they got listed not to get those games anymore, right?
Yes.
So for reviews, so that's the thing
at GameSpot specifically.
Yeah. But Richard, to answer your question, I looked it up. The magazine's called Edge, and it's still going on. They do 13 issues annually still.
And see, it's funny because the company that I was hired by, that was purchased by GameStop many years ago, we sold an Edge magazine. That was our magazine subscription. We had a red and yellow Edge card that we sold that was 10%. It was the same thing, 10% off magazine subscription, 10% extra on trades. What'd you get off the guide? Was it like 25% off the guide if you bought it the same day as the game? It was a pretty good percentage off if you got game and guide at the same time, which was always in.
I mean, and those guys were always marked up anyway.
Yeah.
So, like I said, that they could take those hits.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder what that was. I need to find some of my old receipts and see Get Blink off the... I can Manchurian Candidate some of these sales pitches. I'm trying to get back there. Like,
I'm sure if you grab a receipt, you probably get back in the groove again.
I see you're picking up Halo 2. It's the Old Country Buffet guy with the lead in. Oh, was the weather hot out there?
Yeah. How was the game?
How was that Halo 2 game? Would you like a copy of Halo 1?
Just give me the roast beef, man. Stop talking.
Sir, this isn't EV Games. Just give me the fucking roast beef. Oh boy, hate that.
I know with like what you said, the covers.
Yeah,
is apparently there's a whole bunch of covers and things that they had lined up, because sometimes they have exclusive art.
Yeah,
and there's a lot that's just being left on the cutting room floor, and we'll never get to see it. Well, like, they can't do anything with it.
They got the rug pulled out from underneath them.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will have something somewhere like they've always done and leak it out within the next couple of years. Like, oh, I found this in the old USB drive. I forgot to delete.
Once they're outside the legal ramifications.
Maybe concept art, maybe not the full thing, but
Yep.
So I guess if you are, as we mentioned here, if you're a big fan of print media, Edge Magazine's your go-to. I think they sell those still at Barnes and Nobles.
If you can find one of those.
They killed the one tomorrow, so.
Mm-hmm. Edge is good, and there's another UK publication, I think, that's also published by Future Press, which kind of bought up all the magazines here and ran them into the ground, called Retro Gamer. But you're also going to get a mix of UK-based retro gaming. You'll get a lot of Amiga, you'll get the Super Nintendo that doesn't look like ours, looks like the Super Famicom, and you're just going to get that twist. They're a lot more nostalgic for, like, Commander Keen type platformers. Like it's not quite like ours.
I played a lot of Commander Keen.
Commander Keen was good. That was a bad example.
There's better games out there, but
yeah,
that was like an easy game to like. That was like your friend from school. Like, here's a floppy disk, and that always had Commander Keen and James Pond on there because it was like the easiest games to pirate at that time.
It was freeware. I think it was early freeware. Shareware. That's it. All right.
Pay here to get the final level.
Yeah. Here's like 2/3 of the game. If you want the last third, you've got to send your check or mail order into this address.
They'll mail you a floppy disk, man.
More bad news. Next up from VGC and Chris Scullion, Bungie's job cuts were happening even if the final shape had been a big hit, it's claimed. The final shape, of course, being the final Destiny 2 expansion?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be... It was supposed to go lead on to the next Destiny thing, right? This was it for Destiny 2. This was like, I think people mentioned online, this was like the end of their 10-year plan, right? This was it. So they were supposed to do something new.
Yeah, we're at that point. Bungie's recent swath of job cuts were going to happen regardless of the success of that final shape expansion. It's claimed on Wednesday, this is last Wednesday, Bungie announced that it will lay off 220 staff. No, that is this Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Will lay off 220 staff, roughly 17% of the studio, with a further 155 staff being integrated into Sony Interactive Entertainment. Some players reacted with surprise to the announcement, given that Bungie's latest release, The Final Shape for Destiny 2, was considered a much-needed return to form for the series. However, Stephen Totillo's GameFile newsletter cites three separate... Gameplay. Let me have that fried gameplay. Cites three separate sources who each claimed that these cuts were already planned by early 2024, long before The Final Shape was released in June. According to Totillo's sources, Bungie had been repeatedly missing Sony's financial targets and has been losing money since the release of the Lightfall expansion for Destiny 2 in early 2023. Although it was stated that Bungie would have full autonomy when it was acquired by Sony in 2022, sources told Totillo that Bungie management agreed last year that it would have to make deep cuts to prove to Sony that it was serious about managing its finances. This led to Bungie laying off around 100 staff back in October 2023, a move that it's claimed wasn't enough to remedy the situation. So 100 plus 220. 320 ex-Bungie employees as of the last 8 months. It's crazy. Totillo's sources say another round of cuts, those made this week, was planned in early 2024 and could have been avoided even if The Final Shape had been an enormous hit. I think Sony overpaid for Bungie. Quote, one source told Totillo, I think Bungie sold things they were just not able to deliver. End quote. Following the layoffs, now former Bungie staff have been talking to social media to criticize the studio, with many directing the blame at Bungie boss Pete Parsons, who purchased a couple $1 million in cars very recently.
Cars. I mean, he Jay Leno'd everybody. But
oh boy,
it's crazy, right? It's like that's what I was talking with Renee about. I think this is why Sony never won with that Paramount deal, because I think when they were interested in acquisition Paramount, they changed their tune when they look at the finances, because I think now they're looking at finances now, they're like, yeah, none of this makes sense, because I think they got burned from this Bungie thing. So
they said, we bought the Halo people. We don't want the people that make the Halo show. We can't can't have the double doozy.
And it's like, I don't, yeah, I mean, that studio has been badly run. I mean, and then unfortunately, a lot of people had to get hit because of that leadership in there. So it seems like from what a lot of the influencers out there are saying, like that studio leadership is mostly Sony now at this point. They're cleaning up that mess. So
Bungie is basically no more the Bungie we knew.
Correct.
I mean, what even was it by this point?
I mean, they didn't have anything planned after this, right? I think Gabe mentioned before that Payback game was like I think Jeff Grubb had said it was like a Genshin Impact based game, and it was never fully off. I think that was the next game that was being planned from the main designer of Destiny 2, which I think got laid off. So at this point, they're not doing any more expansions on Destiny 2. That's over.
Right.
Outside of just some light expansions at this point, like very, very small stuff to tweak it. So I mean, they're essentially doing nothing at this point.
Almost like seasons, right? Isn't that what it sounded like? It's like small seasons. It wasn't
very, very small.
It wasn't
expansions.
Yes,
I think it's done. I think at this point they're really not doing anything at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's, unless Marathon takes off, right? So somebody had argued what we always joke about. Somebody give them the Killzone games.
Oh shit!
Somebody's like, bring Killzone back, give it to them.
Now we're talking.
But it's going to be interesting in the next couple years to see what they do. So, because I mean, we don't really see any more of those gas game initiatives coming from Sony either, right? That was the whole reason they got hired on, was for that expertise too. I mean, a lot of those games kind of disappeared. We only got Concord. We have the one that Jade Raymond's working on, which is that bank heist looking robbers type thing that's kind of like Payday mixed with the finals in there. But I mean, we haven't really heard anything else, right? There's supposed to be 26 games in development.
Yeah, that fad came and went, and they pulled the plug on so many of them.
I think a lot of that stuff we're never going to see light of day. I think these three Helldivers, Concord, and then that Jade Raymond game, I think that's probably all we're going to see. It stinks. So.
But Helldivers caught lightning in a bottle somehow, without being in that they're not in that free to play model.
Which makes it good, because everybody's complaining about the concurrent players that dropped off, but it's like at this point they already got your money, so I don't know why everybody brings that as an example. You still pay $40 to get in that ecosystem, so I'm like, I mean,
it's not like a free to play title.
Yeah, they're gonna update that game like they did. There was an update that rolled out today, right? Mm-hmm. They added some new stuff on. So
it's a big update. I know friend of the show also wants to get in there.
Same, I have enough to get the War Bond without actually spending money. I saved up all my super credits. I was like, that was the first for me.
Damn.
So.
And you got some hours in that thing.
I unfortunately do.
It's not unfortunate. It's a good game.
Parallel to
it might be
Warzone.
It might be on three people's games of the year list this year, on this show.
I mean, for me, it has to be, because as much time as I put on there, and I get lost in it every time. That game sucks me in every time. I'll just sit there and I'm always watching the environment, watching something to do. 40 minutes feels like 5 minutes every time. So.
Sign of a good game. You lose yourself.
Yeah.
Sign of a good game and an Eminem song.
But yeah, I mean, this sucks. I mean, who knows what Bungie's going to do next outside of these incubation teams that kind of got moved over. I'm assuming they're making stuff, but I think the next one is what Marathon.
And who's got like a draw for Marathon, a 30-plus-year-old game at this point?
I think it was supposed to be like an extraction-based game, right? I think it's very different from what they've done before. So,
right.
I mean, I guess that would be considered one of their games as a service games from Sony, but that's coming on everything. So
it is. We'll
see next year, right? That thing that comes out next year. So I mean, depending on how well this does, it's probably going to see the fate of Bungie, and whether it's going to be I think was it is it 2,000 people in that city, or a little bit less than 2,000 or 1,200? I can remember.
But
The number
Destiny's
now.
still making a ton of money, right? Like it's not unsuccessful. It's still doing well.
Yeah, but I just don't. Yeah, I mean, how many people are going to stay around if that
Without-
content's not
yeah,
coming
without a
out there?
roadmap.
I mean, if you do the updates, I mean, that's cool. But a lot of my coworkers at work were always excited about the new expansions, even though they went through them in like a weekend or a couple weeks.
Yeah,
But
you said it didn't take
I mean, that
long whenever they played them.
I mean, that excitement's gone. So once it's done, I mean, unless you do PvP all the time. But I'm not about that life. I prefer a PvE environment because I'm always having therapy sessions with you guys when we do Warzone and I'm losing. I mean, I don't need additional therapy for my day-to-day life. So.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this THQ Nordic Showcase recap. This was random. Where did this come out from?
It's crazy this coming from the
Gamescom?
PlayStation blog.
Yeah, this news is via the PlayStation
They
blog. Interesting.
They had the best. They had the best
Hey,
breakdown.
no judgment. Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You want me to read down this list? Give you all a break here? I know.
Yeah, go for it.
It's from Tom Moore, marketing manager at THQ Nordic, is from a post on the PlayStation
Posting
blog.
straight to the PlayStation blog.
It must be a marketing thing that they have on there. So, Gamescom is it still going on? It feels like I'm not paying attention to Gamescom. I don't know. Did Keeley come out there? Did anything yet?
Is it?
I
don't think.
Is it going on?
I feel like I don't know anymore. I think I'm so exposed
I don't think
to
it
the gaming
started.
world now. It's like I don't know anymore.
Are we sure it started?
I feel like it is. I know that. Well, it's either here or there. At some point, I know this in this showcase. I think THQ had addressed that they're gonna show a new game at when Keeley does his Gamescom presser
All right, when is Gamescom opening night live? That will be
tomorrow.
I didn't realize it was coming up this fast.
It's always beginning in August.
Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, live from Cologne, Germany. We got a minute. We got a minute.
Damn. We still got 2 weeks. We travel. We can get there.
Brant, you got your passport?
We'll put on Brent's credit card. All right, y'all ready?
On Brant's credit card.
So, I always put on Brent's credit card. So, The Eternal Life of Goldman. They open up the stream. It's a 2D adventure platformer from Weepy Studios, developers behind This Is the Police. This Is the Police is a game I have not played. But as Goldman, I think there's a lot of people were talking about, this looks pretty unique. I think they were already doing reservations for it. I know a lot of people were excited about it. As Goldman, with your trusty cane in hand, you navigate a mysterious archipelago brought to life with painstakingly handcrafted 2D animation, each frame bursting with the passion that the team has injected into the game that I've always wanted to make. I'm not going to go too much into this because it seems very preachy since it's from their marketing manager. And then we got into another look on Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrush, which I think is probably one of their big games coming out this fall because it looks really good. I don't think I've played it on the Wii because I got tired of the gimmick at that time, so I'm kind of excited about going through this for the first time. So this is coming out September 24th. I'm not going to read into much to it. It's rebuilt from the ground up from the team at Purple Lamp for the first time on PS5 and PS4 and Xbox Series, and probably as well as just the standard Xbox, my guess. Disney and then Switch. Disney Epic Mickey Rebrush is a must-play for Disney fans all ages. We're getting a little preaching here. Brant's in another dimensions game of the year, Wreckfest, is getting a sequel, Wreckfest 2. Create the car of your tire screeching dreams, show it off online, and smash into pieces in the ultimate range of wrecktastic events.
In my mind, this was a Ubisoft franchise. I don't know where that came from.
I think this is from what is that wrecking game they had on the PS2? Isn't that the same studio, or people from that same studio for this Bugbear?
They had a Wreckfest. Oh, Bugbear, I've heard of them. They did another racing franchise.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's something that we played on like the PS2 or PS3 or something like that.
Flat Out. They made the Flat Out games. Those were very good racing games.
I think this is like the spiritual successor to Flat Out. Yeah, if I remember when this came out, everybody was super excited about.
They also made Ridge Racer Unbounded, which was released in 2012. One of the infamous Western Flat Outs. Ridge Racer.
Delisted at some point.
They also made Sega Rally Revo for PlayStation Portable, published by Sega in 2007. Sega. I didn't know there was a Sega Rally game for PSP.
Yeah, you need to buy it.
I'm trying to. As we speak.
They announced last year. They announced Titan Quest 2. They came out with the trailer this year. Show some gameplay debut of it. We got some more scenes of the Gothic 1 remake. Oddly enough, my copy of Gothic came for the Nintendo Switch, which was also paired together with Gothic.
This is not
2.
the remake?
No, the remake is the one that's coming on next gen, current gen console.
Gotcha.
Excuse me. I think it's skipping the Switch for now, unless a successor to the Switch happens to come out at some point. Way of the Hunter went to Total Reserve. For the second year in a row, they released DLC for the Way of the Hunter. I've never experienced Way of the Hunter.
What is it?
I don't know. Whereas last year we took the hunt to lush African grasslands. I gotta play the video to find out and ask me how old I am. I've already sold out. So I don't feel like doing all that stuff.
That's how old I am.
Have the capacity to. Yeah. Now I was asking like, oh, what year were you born? I'm like,
No, thanks.
I'm already out. Yeah.
Oh man.
New Tale from Tarsier Studios is the studio behind Little Nightmares 1 and 2. They're going to do this on Gamescom opening night live. I guess this is the game they're talking about that they're going to showcase on there. And they just kind of get a brief teaser on here. And then they ended up the whole thing with the future Darksiders where they had the heads that are just in there as they do whatever they normally do. That something was coming in this universe. I think it's from Gunfire Games, I think. Who's
Gunfire?
And I was asking how old I am again. Fuck, just tell me who the name is. I'm playing the video, man. Oh, goodness gracious.
Let me see what else they worked on.
I think it was a Remnant 2. It's like the last big game that came out with there. I know I'm getting the name mixed up.
Gunfire Games is a division of bringing him the core team of Crytek USA just before that studio's closure. So this is former Crytek people based in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I think that this is the right people. I think they've done the not well received Darksiders 3.
I mean, it's from the founder David Adams. Previously founded the developer Vigil Games alongside former NCSoft employees that made the first two Darksiders. Yeah.
But I think the third one is not held regardly as they're hoping to return to form on this one. It doesn't seem like they're too far into it.
You're right. So it's our Darksiders 3, then Remnant from the Ashes, Chronos before the Ashes, and then Remnant 2.
Which is like a critical darling that came out earlier this year, right? So,
yeah, people love this one.
Which I think it at some point was also part of Game Pass, and I think it's also part of PlayStation not Essentials, but Premium. So
the Remnant, one of those Remnant games.
Play that one on there. Yeah, I think Remnant 2, the new one. So I think there's a co-op mode that's well adored in there. But that's everything from the THQ Nordic show that came out.
No time splitters.
The pre-Gamescom presser. So
no time splitters.
And then we'll go to our segue to our Pokemon correspondent to give us an update on some Switch Online features.
Live amongst the Pokemon. Brand McKee. Pokemaster.
I know a lot of people got excited because they saw coming to NSO Plus on their accounts and saw Pokemon first thing and probably got really excited. Like, oh, yay, we finally getting the mainline Pokemon series. It's
not quite.
Not quite. Not yet.
Is it perpendicular or is it adjacent?
It's adjacent. I would say adjacent.
Oh, Pokemon Pinball?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got, what did we get? The trading card game on the Game Boy.
Yeah. The TCG. So, yeah, you know me.
But this time we are getting, for the Game Boy Advanced, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, and this is coming August 9th.
Red Rescue Team.
Tracer.
I believe I remember when these came out. I remember selling these.
I remember buying them and probably making a promise of playing with Richard, and we never did.
I play all Pokemon games with you, sir.
I don't think I've ever gotten into the Mystery Dungeon games. I mean,
they're very fourth wallish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all made from the Chunsoft studio, which is the one that kind of made that Mysterious Dungeon world. So, I mean, if you look on the Chunsoft, I think they pretty much made of all of them. They're kind of like the Omega Force, the ones that always make like
Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors type game. Yeah, they're like, oh, they're the best ones, so they always go to like every mystery dungeon spinoff you can think of is made by them.
They just apply different licenses to their formula.
Yeah, they handle that IP. They just, I don't know. They just always go.
They do is it She-Ren the Warrior? They do that franchise.
Do that as well. Yeah, I think they also did the Final Fantasy Mysterious Dungeon. I think they did the Torneko Dragon Quest ones. They've done all those. So
that's Chunsoft.
That's just Chunsoft, yeah.
Dungeon games. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon's like way up there on their list. Oh, there's a Switch Mystery Dungeon game.
Yeah, that's a new one that came out maybe.
Mystery Dungeon, known as Fushigi no Dungeon, is a series of roguelike role-playing video games. Most were developed by Chunsoft. Now Spike Chunsoft, since merging in 2012, and select games were developed by other companies with Chunsoft's permission. Dragon Quest, where are they at? Torneko's Great Adventure, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, She-Ren the Warrior, She-Ren the Wanderer, I'm sorry. Torneko the Last Hope.
It started with a WA in there. You did it right.
Torneko the Last Hope. The Nightmare of Duraga. Oh, they used a Duraga license. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Dragon Quest.
We also have a friend of the show, Michael's 428 Shibuya Scrambles.
They do that one too?
Yeah,
he loves that game. More Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, Final Fantasy Fables, Chocobo's Dungeon for the Lewi. The Lewi. Etrian Mystery Dungeon. I guess they did a Etrian Odyssey universe one. It's a cross promotion with Alice. Interesting. That She-Ren the Wanderer has been around for a long time.
Yeah, I want to say they're the ones that created that Mysterious Dungeon. I mean, that's their baby.
Right.
That's how they got off of there. So
they just keep applying this. 30 years later, they're using the same formula.
It's the Mega
awesome.
Force, man. It's a Mega Force. Like, oh, come over here and make a Zelda game, Dynasty Warriors style.
That's awesome. All right, last but not least in news, Game Pass. Coming soon to Game Pass.
Excellent.
So, coming soon to Game Pass.
Oh, Brain McGee.
Yep, we have...
Yeah, if I do it, then I'll be here forever.
They are...
He's Game Pass blocking me, bro.
Let's see. We had Creatures of Ava coming actually of tomorrow of recording this. Cloud console, PC. And that's August 7th. August 8th, we have the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which has been rumored to be coming this month.
So that was confirmed.
And last but not least, Mafia Definitive Edition for Cloud Console and PC, and that is August 13th. Those are, good offerings, but much less offerings than what we normally get. Usually there's like 5, 6, 7 games.
Yeah, Mafia can't be your big hit there. I know Crash Bandicoot is a big get, but it's been on sale so many times since it's been out. Like, it's not a newer title. And I feel like it's part of that catalog that should be included in there.
Yeah. And it seems...
How is that Mafia Definitive Edition? Was that a pretty good remake?
Seems odd for them to go up on the price and then immediately drop on the content they give you.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Drastically scale back releases and age of content. Of course, Modern Warfare 3 is recently released, and they mentioned that in this article. I guess they're kind of riding that popularity at the moment.
There's some Valorant benefits as well. Some DLC stuff that you get for No Man's Sky, Dead by Daylight, and Sea of Thieves. Some perks as well. Again, with Sea of Thieves, Stampede Racing Royale.
Damn it, Brain, you convinced me I'll play Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Said Sea of Thieves 3 times in front of the mirror and turned around.
Yep. He somehow Beetlejuiced me into it.
As one does into pirate games.
And then, of course, we have to talk about the Leaving Game Pass.
These
games leaving August 15th. Of course, if you have not played them, go ahead and play them now. If you're interested in buying them, you can get up to 20% off your purchase to keep them in your library. We have Airborne Kingdoms, Off-World Trading Company, Shadow Warrior 3,
That's sounds like somebody's day job. That sucks. Why would you buy that?
and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, this is Brant's resume. First, I started off at the Off-World Trading Company. Then I became the Shadow Warrior 3, and now I'm in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I mean, me as giving the interview, I'm like, tell me more about this last job you worked at Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Were you building off the
it was in
experience that you
Texas.
gained? Did you build off the lessons learned from both having an airborne kingdom and doing some off-world trading with your company? Oh, we made Game Pass games the most Microsoft thing we could possibly make it sound like. Get your copy of Office 365 alongside.
So Brand, Murray wants you to do Sea of Thieves on stream.
I see a drunken stream. Drunken pirates.
And I have
I mean,
to dress
Brand
up.
doesn't
I
get
have to
drunk,
dress up
right?
as Jack Sparrow.
You have to. I mean, if you're not going to partake in the alcohol, you have to do the cosplay.
Or you could do the cosplay and the alcohol.
I'll do a bit of both, so I'll be all right.
I'll do a bit of both, so I'll be alright.
How quickly do you think I'll get my stream taken down if I'm just blasting the Pirates theme song in the background the whole
That's only
time?
one way to find out.
Richard can put it
Yeah.
up on his wall as he does.
I mean, YouTube's getting very sophisticated now, where they'll just yell at you like, "Hey, we can remove this music for you," or you can get the strike. So
AI generated replacement music.
they have like a off-key adjacent Pirates of the Caribbean theme song, where it's like played with a weird flute on the higher key.
Oh, this isn't Jack Sparrow. This is Sack Jarrow.
Yeah.
You have heard of him, right? Is there a DDR game that has the Pirates of the Caribbean theme in it? I think I would do some DDR to the Pirates theme.
I think DDR died before that.
DDR.
Was close.
What is the Venn diagram of DDR's sales?
No, you're right. DDR was
Pirates of
around
the
that time.
Caribbean
Yeah.
popularity.
Is that an assignment for me? I'll expect your report due in by next
Yes.
week.
I need
That way I can panic. That way I can panic. Stay up on Monday at midnight. Just like I gotta get this shit done by tomorrow. That's what we're doing.
I need a chart correlating the success of dance pads tracked alongside the highs and lows of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Dance pads are still successful.
Yeah.
People were beating Elden Ring with them. So.
Beating Elden Ring with a dance pad.
Yep.
Oh boy, that'd be something. I feel like Russell and I played Final Fantasy IX before, years ago, when we had a PS1 dance pad.
We talk about this at least once every 6
I know.
months.
Do X. Up, X.
I mean, I think you might be able to beat that jump rope mini game with the dance pad. Probably a lot more easier than
Make it like a natural motion instead of trying to just tap it on
Yeah.
Oh gosh, could you do the Solid Snake torture on the dance pad? Trying to break out of the torture.
People always bitched about that. I'm good at that rapid tap thing. I can do that like best of nobody.
I don't know. It was rough when I played it back in when on original hardware. Now it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, now it's not that.
Like,
It's not bad on.
maybe because I played other games now, and I'm like before back in the day, I don't think I was that. Like, oh dear God, I have to hit square 45 times in a row. And like, I don't know if my index finger can keep up.
I was playing something recently that had that same mechanic, and now I can't think of what it was. Where I was just trying to hit X a shit ton of times, and I can do it. I can do that rapido. I didn't have a turbo controller for Metal Gear or anything. Remember Ocelot would taunt you? Like, I could tell if you're using a turbo-enabled controller, like if you had a cheat controller. He can't tell, but it was in the game for him to tell you that he could tell.
I mean, that game was great about breaking.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. I mean, especially with the controller prompts. Just press X
Yeah, you never got me.
on the controller.
What am I thinking of? It's like a special or something where as many times as you can tap, you get like a boost on the special or something. I don't know. It'll come to me. I'll fever dream remember it.
You'll remember by the end of the stream.
Sometimes. My brain is escaping me. My mind is escaping me.
Hey, that's happening to all of us. Brant, you will know that in 20 years.
When you get to our age.
Yeah.
Starting to not being able to remember why you're in a room. What medicine you took or didn't take. Brent's like, why am I here now?
I literally just took my acid reflux medicine I was supposed to take this morning. It's like, did I take that? And I was like, oh fuck, I forgot. I just took it just now.
Get on that.
No wonder I'm suffering from acid reflux right now.
Wait, why am I having this side effect of acid reflux?
I'm that commercial. Like, damn, did I take my medicine? Why am I having this acid reflux that I haven't had in days? Nope, I forgot.
And then all of a sudden, there's a band in the background and the chorus singing the theme song for the medicine. Flowers blooming.
I should be there. Yeah, I should be on that commercial.
All right, let's get on to games played. It's not been long since we all spoke about the games that we have been playing.
Yep.
I did have a major breakthrough on Beyond Good and Evil, and it was that classic touch of stuck in a video game, put it down, walk away, come back, beat it on like the first or second try. Like, it's all of a sudden something came to me. It is a stealthy section, but it's forgiving if you forego the stealth, and they are making you do that at this point. So, whereas I had been trying to like sneak my whole way through it, they want you to choose combat in this area, and they give you the tools to do it. Like there's been these rooms I walk past, and if somebody sees you, you just basically duck off the path, right? There's like a hole cut into the path, and you're in an industrial complex, so there's no reason for this pit to just be here on the walkway. So this room I got to, I was stuck in. The pit actually connects to another one on the other side, so you're meant to like lose the guards in between that. It's very rudimentary stealth, but I was getting caught up in between the two and not using the item that had recently been given to me, pure Zelda style, where you need to use the thing that they've recently rewarded you with.
No. Fuck the hook shot. I'm going to go through this dungeon.
Yeah, I can do it without it. Why do you mean I can't pull the barnacles off this octopus and then bash them with my sword? I'm supposed to use the hook shot.
And then you write an article like, I finally beat Legend of Ocarina of Time after 22 years. I finally used the hook shot.
I couldn't do my pacifist run with no hook shot. The boss at the end of that little area, again, uses that same item, so it's scratching a Zelda itch for sure. And then there's a little mechanic, like I'm telling y'all, like it's not repeated itself. Like there's all these random things that pop up. All of a sudden there's a time trial. Like this person that's part of the underground movement, I guess, alongside me. I have to get him back to the base in like 4.5 minutes, and it's.
I hate shit. I hate that. It's
very forgiving, except he's like the guy has never called you the right name. He calls you something else. I can't remember what it was, but he's like, hey, I can't even see you. And he's limping behind you, and you have to walk back. Like, you can't just run to the place. He has to follow you because he can't see.
Is it the JJ of that universe where he just keeps calling people the wrong name?
Yeah, I think he says Miss Tisea. I think he says Miss Tisea all the time. I can't see you, Miss Tisea. And the main character's name is Jade. It's like nowhere close. It's nowhere close to Jade. It's Miss Tisea or something like that. And he's like, you have to stay a certain proximity from him. Like old school escort mission style, or you fail. I never did fail. He's like, I can't see you, and he just stops. So, and it gave me 4.5 minutes to escape this factory that I was in and take the hovercraft all the way back into the city, into Hillis, and then to the residential district where the hideout sort of thing is. So that's where I'm at now. There was like a little cutscene with that and kind of a story catch up, but I'm on to the next bit on that. I think that was it. I didn't play any more 10 down here. And you guys had the 2 streams this weekend. I think that was it for me. That's all I did was a little bit more Beyond Good and Evil, but I'm still moving the ball forward on that one. Still an amazing game. I'm loving it. It's so good.
I look forward to the day you finally beat it. Hopefully I'll be alive.
It's going to happen with this one. I'm very close.
I kid with Richard.
Everybody knows I start a lot of games. I don't finish a lot of games. I can take the criticism. I'm well aware. I'm well aware of the patterns of behavior I've exhibited.
Hey man, I look forward to your constant yearly update on Final Fantasy 9
and 10 over the whole course of the podcast.
And then you're over here like, I want to play 11 on PS2, and I was like, oh, slow your roll. I mean, let's not do too many Final Fantasies at once, but I can't say shit because you beat 16.
I did.
So. Beat 16.
Yeah.
I did.
16.
It's one of my favorite ones. It's so fucking good. I love that
15?
game.
Did you 15?
Huh? I dropped off of 15. Right at the part where Arwen or whatever his name was showed up. that I remembered from the.
Oh, the main. The
Yeah,
main
that I
villain?
remembered from the movie.
Yeah. Oh.
The movie was good, Kingsglaive.
All right.
The
No,
movie's
movie-
phenomenal. It's a good standalone. You could just
Yeah.
watch the movie.
Did we ever figure out that Sean Bean died?
Yes,
in
he
that movie
does.
as well?
He does indeed.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm sorry for.
Spoilers
bringing
for
this along.
Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15.
I just said Sean Bean. Who knows what character he plays as? I believe a couple days ago I've talked more about 1,000 Year Door.
Yeah.
I went ahead and completed for Pigs the Bell Tolls. That was what I think was referencing a Metallica song at the time when they made this. So Dupless, I had successfully guessed his name, completed the arc, got the Crystal Star. I think I moved up another 2 chapters. I'm almost done with this game.
Damn,
so
you're
I
powering
think
through the
next
1,000-Year
chapter-
Door.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it a lot. It's kind of like a little slog. Chapter 5 and 6 are. Yeah, you can tell at this point we're like, all right, they probably need to wrap this up. Because at this point, I think I'm in chapter 7. I think there's 8
The
chapters.
pacing fell off.
I've got 25 hours into it. It picked back up on certain ones. So the next one I had to go to like Key Hall Island to get the next star, which was a pirate-based one. It's like a shipwreck one. So you had to sell the seas. And then you basically, these ghosts make you crash land on this shipwreck island. And you have to go through this cave and fight a guy called Cortez who speaks in quirky Spanish. And it's a ghost that never dies. And once you beat him, you get the final star. And then as I went on there, I think the next one was 3 days of excess. So I had to get a train ticket to ride a train to a town to get the star because the star was being kept in the museum. And they're like, this is going to be your easiest mission ever. It's like, there's no dungeons or nothing. And it's like, yeah, naturally. So the what's it called? The X-Knots or whatever they call them, the Cross-Knots, whatever the hell they call them in these things. Try to ambush you on the train. So it's called 3 days of excess because it's on excess train and it's very Agatha Christie, like that Perot style, like the
murder
train
mystery,
type
yeah.
thing.
Car to car,
So
working your way
there's
car
not
to
a
car.
murder- Yeah, it's not a murder mystery because nobody gets murdered in here, but it's like you have to solve a bunch of these like weird occurrences that happen on here, like a haunting and somebody stole the soup and you it gives you like day breaks, so like you have something to do in the morning, something to do in the evening, and then you just rest at night, and so you have to do it within 3 days. And I think maybe the halfway point there's a bridge that pops up and you can't cross it, and that's the dungeon part. So you have to go into like this old train station and go in there and flip the switch, and then you end up fighting this crazy boss battle with like these I don't know if they ever called them anything. It's like weird shadow creatures that kind of like kidnapped everybody on the train, and you have to like fight them at the very top.
That's an
of the
awesome
train.
gameplay mechanic, though. The way they shook it up right there.
Yeah, it's very different. So I went through that, got the Crystal Star. Now I'm on the Mario Shoots to the Moon. So that's chapter 7. So I think they came to the conclusion that the final battle is going to happen on the moon. This is pre-Despicable Me, so maybe Despicable Me got this from them. I don't know. I'll leave it up for debate. So basically to the moon on this one, as I go into like a weird out of nowhere location, this snowfield that's very reminiscent of what I guess they're trying to say where Russia is, because everybody has that weird Russian dialect in there and has that weird Russian demeanor in there, like, you know, they always have, and they were like, oh, you know, those jokes they
It's
always make.
Boris and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah.
Let's go with that. So at this point, I have to get the cannon, but apparently the cannon is not in function anymore. So I have to locate the captain who has a key, who moved to an outpost in the middle of nowhere. So I got to go to one of the previously traveled cities I've been to find him, and then I have to find a Gobabom, who was on that train ride, and get permission for him to use the cannon. So that's where I'm at right now.
Do they still do the Mario 64?
It's pretty close. Ba-bomb. But outside of that, I think the only aspect that I didn't mention last time is that you run into Luigi a couple times in this game. And I don't know if they've done this in other Paper Mario games, but Luigi's going on his own quest to find Princess Eclair. And he talks about finding the 7 compass pieces, because the compass will point to Princess Eclair. So he'll give you the story, and then he always has some kind of friend that's following him behind him. And his friend is like, yeah, this guy's...
Really?
He's like, he literally threw me straight into lava immediately. He didn't save anybody. It's like, he gives you this glamour, like, oh, I did this and saved everybody. And it's like, sometimes like, yeah, this guy owes me $5,000 for...
He's the worst companion. He's the worst companion ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love, because like, I look forward to talking to the companion next time, because they're always going to talk shit about him every time. And I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Because he's like, yeah, he's like, I ended up on this island where we had to do Mario Kart racing, and I was, kart racing, and I've done that before. So I went in there and I got the compass piece on there, and it's like, yeah, this guy's like, yeah, this dude wrecked my car, so he yells me $5,000, I'm falling around, so he pays me back.
That's amazing.
So it's like his bit on there is pretty funny, man. He just goes into this whole thing about the story, and it's always Mario falling asleep as he's telling it to him.
I love it.
All right. Outside of that, I think me and Brent played some. I mean, before I get to me and Brent, I played some Helldivers yesterday. Nothing really telling on there. So still the same
pre-update.
Helldivers. We did the pre-update. We still did hell diving mode, which was super difficult last night because that full campaign took the full 40 minutes.
Damn.
But outside of that, I've looked forward to see what changes on there because there's a new difficulty mode that's even go beyond plus ultra apparently, as Brent would like to say. Which will be 11. I don't know what they call it, but maybe I'll go with plus ultra until I see it on there.
Plus ultra.
Yeah. Me and Brent, in front of the show, Renee, and Weesh, all jumped on Warzone Saturday. Richard unfortunately had some prior commitments, and so he was dicey depending on when he could join us. And by then we were already in the roll with, so I don't know if he ever got.
I watched the stream. I watched a good bit of the stream.
Then we had one win.
We had a couple.
Right?
Two
two
dubs.
Was it 2 or 1?
We had two. I think.
It was 2 dubs. Okay. I couldn't remember if we ended on. No, we ended on a W, right?
No.
Yeah, I think we landed on a bad one. But nothing to really add on there. Standard Warzone on there. I am liking the new Rebirth map.
Yeah.
So it's finally gonna come around.
Yeah, it brought me back on board too.
I just want the rotation in there so we can have
different
maps instead of it being on trio. It was good on trios when it was swapping around. We never got Vondel. I really want to go back on Vondel for whatever reason because it's been a while since I got the swimming around in the moat or the canal. But I'll hand this off to Brant to add anything else from that and let him go into his gameplay.
Brant McKee, bring us home.
No, as far as games played goes, really just a little bit of that Warzone with you.
No more VR. You haven't dabbled back in the VR. You got a kick-ass case.
I haven't had the time to. That case is huge. If you give me 2 seconds, let me run back here and grab it.
2 seconds will be provided. Talk amongst yourselves.
Because
and I forgot
this thing is absolutely bonkers.
And I forgot to mention I did play the PlayStation VR too. So
it's a lot larger than the original.
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
It houses both the headset and
the controllers. Renee says don't forget Apex W. And Renee says the Dead Space remake is much better than the original.
Renee, I'm not talking about Apex W because that was baby mode and you got excited and that was not a real win. I literally was trapped in the room and somebody, I'm not talking about the game because I was trapped in the room and then there's 2 people coming in there and they were shooting at the wall and I just went around and then shoot them in the back. And I was like, there's no way this is real. This is not a real game. There's no way. And I looked on there, it's like, you're stuck in exhibition mode until you win some stuff. Like, this is baby mode. No, there's no way. I'm not counting this.
It's a dub, like, Renee. I'm with Renee. A win is a win.
No. There's some odd that we were the champions that would be hunted in the next round. It's like, there's no way. We're not that good. They're not that good. There's no way.
Our returning champions.
No way. I told Renee we have to play some. We might play some more later tonight. I have to get out of baby mode. I cannot. I need to get back with the general population. This is not.
I want to play new Apex.
Yeah, y'all better get in there. We get like nonstop dubs.
I need to update mine too.
Oh yeah, and Brand, I forgot to remind me. I did play some VR too. How far did you get in Resident Evil Village?
I did not even pop that one in, actually.
So I mean, I'll wait till after you're done, and I'll talk about my VR2 thing. I forgot all about it for whatever reason. Unless you want me to go ahead and go now, it's up to you.
No, I mean I was just gonna show off that yes, I did get the same case we were.
That is a massive case. That is a massive case.
Here's the one for the original VR, and here's this one.
Wow.
And the original one could fit in to this new one, and it is only because it can hold both the headset and the controllers. So
I like it. That's a good head.
It looks solid.
It's the one to get.
That's the one everybody recommends. I was deep into the PSVR 2 threads. But
yeah, I don't know. We had a good time on Warzone. I know it was me and Cesar and a friend of the show, Renee. We were tearing it up for a bit, and then Weesh, friend of the show, Weesh got on.
Yep.
Gosh, I know there was like two or three games where I don't know what the hell happened. I got into a groove and
Yeah. Yeah, it's as
Cesar
friend of
kept
the show
Cesar,
Mills would say, love started to float.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brent was floating.
Cesar kept joking about me like carrying the team, and I was like, "No, I'm not going to be carrying the team." And then like,
Yeah, like
two
6 kills,
two
Brown,
games,
get out of
yeah,
here.
2 games later, I had like back to back like 7 kills both games.
Damn, Brent, go off.
And yeah, I kept like doing like team wipes and shit. I'm like, guys, I swear I'm not this good. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Did you change weapons or anything? Like, what was different?
No.
He just got in the zone, man.
I got in a groove, and then like
Brand,
2 games.
Brand, you ever watch Jujutsu Kaisen?
But then a few games later, I was like completely off, and just like I couldn't do anything without dying. Like every time I turn a corner, somebody was popping me. I'm like, okay, well, yep, that was it.
I mean, honestly, have you ever seen Jujutsu Kaisen?
I've seen bits and pieces. Yes, I know what you're.
There's a whole bit. There's a whole bit on there where they do an attack called the Black. Was it Black Flash?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like apparently they make a big deal. It's like the record was 3, and it's like you have to get in the zone to get past 3, and that was like a whole thing. So they made this whole big deal about somebody who's in the zone to this attack back to back to back to back. So,
but yes, go ahead and tell us about your VR experiences, sir.
I got mine in Sans Paper Destroyed on the sticky part. I see what you're talking about.
Oh, you had the same.
I didn't have it. Sans.
Oh, you didn't.
No,
okay.
Yeah, no. But it's very fragile. My concern would be the inside one would be a little weird, but the outside one, I mean,
I did notice getting the charging stand for the controllers. It's almost like they've changed up the sticker. Now it's almost
it's like a weird biodegradable paper.
Yeah, it is.
One I got,
it almost does look like.
What is this aforementioned sticker? Like a seal?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a seal that's kind of like a paper-esque seal instead of it being like the straight sticker where you're always getting the fucking residue off the box that you're trying on there. It's like more friendly, user-friendly maybe.
Frustration-free packaging.
So I think when my hookup, it wasn't very anticlimactic. I didn't have any of that. I plugged it in there, update the controllers, because you have to do, as Brant mentioned before, you plug in the headset, update the headset, update each individual controller, and then sync the room. I don't have much space in this gaming area I have in here, so I didn't really do anything standing up. I did everything sitting down. I think I only tried 2 games, which was a C Smash VRS, which was a huge mistake because that one is, even though you can list to sit it down, that
you
was
need to
primarily
stand.
a game that you need to stand for that one because that's like playing racquetball.
Like Wii Sports,
racquetball,
right? You got to stand up for Wii Sports.
Yeah, because I mean you can hit it, and then it's like if the ball trajectory goes off, it's like you have to like go for it. It doesn't come straight for you, so that defeats the whole purpose of the game. Outside of that, I popped in Resident Evil Village. I did not run into the same issue Brent had. As soon as I popped it up, like, hey, just to let you know, you're playing VR, so you're gonna have to change the game type. And I was like, all right, cool. I changed the game type and automatically put me in VR mode. And
interesting.
I had to go through it's like, do you want to go through the tutorial? I was like, yeah, I'll go through the tutorial. So basically, I went in there. I think it has the sharp angles.
Yeah.
That's the way they want you to move around. I changed it to 1-to-1. I had to turn off the quick turn because I kept hitting the right analog stick, and I just quick turned off the time. I was like, you know what? I'll just chance it. I was like, I'll just turn around slowly. It's fine. Because it's like, it's really annoying just you magically quick turn in there. So the only thing I can note on there, it looks good on there. It looks really good. The only thing I do not like in there was like you had to, Brand, you might have mentioned that, you have to use L2 and R2 often to grab stuff. And I hate it. I hate having to manually load in the weapons one by one.
Yeah,
by shell.
I can tell it's going to
be... You can turn that off. I turn it off immediately.
You turn it off immediately. Oh,
I just put the clip down. That's it. I was like, you just do it once. So it's like you doing this like holding. You got to hold L2 and it's like and they got to cock the gun. And it's like it's very more intuitive on what they want you to do. And it's like, I mean, you're gonna sit there and get murdered. Like, we just get my shotgun still here.
I feel like I'm gonna try it that way first, and because I want to experience it. But I feel like I'm probably gonna do the same thing and be like, nope, fuck this, turn it off.
I absolutely not. No, I don't need that type of realism in my games. That defeats the purpose for me. I guess it depends on the flow.
It's too far.
Game, maybe. But outside of that, I played maybe the first hour before I started feeling a little sweaty.
Yeah.
Before I had to stop and take a break. So I think I got as far as I completed the tutorial, and then I went through the whole where Mia gets murdered in the very beginning that we've all seen many times, and my long trudge through the snowy grounds. I think that's where I decided to this is enough for tonight. So, but I did not get as sick as I did last time, where I had to lay in bed for like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
I typically I can't remember the last time I had a hangover. I cannot remember the last time I had a hangover. But the last time I remember having a hangover was playing Resident Evil in VR, Resident Evil 7 in VR. That's probably the last time that's equivalent for me, because it was like hours, and I was like, I never want to do that again. This time I was just sweaty, and I was like irritated, and I ate something, and I was fine. So it seems I just got to get my VR legs in. So I think if I do
reacclimate,
burst, I can get to that point.
Yeah. The one thing I was looking at as far as like extra things for it, there's like some fabric bands that go over that weird like pleathery stuff.
I don't destroy it.
Yeah, that I might get eventually. As well as also there's like I think an additional strap you can get to go along the top, because I know there's nothing.
I noticed the eye tracking will kind of lose its.
Yeah, because
I have to slowly move it up.
Yeah, sometimes it slips down my head as well, and also having that band right there in the back of your head, and if you have to tighten it up to where it doesn't fall down, then you have that band almost like pressing on the bottom of your skull, and that after a while it does not feel well either.
But I'm with Brant, man. The tech's fucking awesome, dude. It's
way above the original.
It's really, really wicked, and it sucks because if they made those PSVR games backwards compatible, I think I'll be in that thing all the time. It really, really sucks that that's not going to be a thing. So, but
it's like the software was on the first headset, and now the technology is caught up to that software with the second headset. There's just no compelling software for it.
Unless some miracle happens and they sold so many now that some of these developers are like, because before Rec Room was like, there's no reason for them to put a PS5 version on in front of them. They're like, there's not enough out there to, for us to make it to turn a profit. So they're like,
maybe the new Astrobot game will be so successful they'll bring that one forward potentially. There'd be no reason to, right?
I don't know. I think the next one that everybody talks about is, and you've probably seen it in the threads, is Gran Turismo 7. It's fucking awesome on there, so I'm gonna fire that up. So
yeah,
Brant, do you have a copy of Gran Turismo 7?
About.
Do you want to borrow one for scientific purposes?
I wouldn't mind it, but me being me, I'd want to go full in on it. I'd want to get a fucking racing wheel and the pedals and everything, and literally sit there.
That'd be
like
intense.
I'm behind the wheel.
Yeah.
And then in VR, that would be it, man. That would be it. But I hear Gran Turismo in VR.
Yeah,
is pretty damn.
Is there
amazing.
A demo? Is there any good? I when I first got PSVR, I had so many fucking demos where I was just trying shit out to see if I wanted the full game.
There are a couple of free things. I don't remember any of them really standing out. I went through the full list after I ordered my VR headset and just kind of looked at everything. So, which honestly, it's not a huge list either.
I'm mostly intrigued by that CVRVS, the Dreamcast racquetball game.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
it's good.
It came to the MetaQuest also. Like I'm still gauging up that ecosystem I'm already in versus this one, and what are the killer apps on that?
So you're I did confirm that Among Us VR is cross-platform as well as your mini golf.
Here we go.
You wanted to do a session with me and Brant, we could join you.
Here we go. We don't have That'd be fun.
But it is cross-platform. It is listed on the page. I think Brant probably saw it as well. I think Among Us VR is on sale for like $6.59 and for another 5 or 6 days before it goes back to $10.
Okay.
You don't get that with the one they just gave us on PlayStation Plus. You don't get the VR mode.
No, I think the mini golf one is the one I got that was part of their drop. So I have that one. I think it was like. There's a lot of VR2 games on sale right now, so I think it was that was also on sale for like $11 or $12, and it's normally like.
I don't feel like I've seen that advertised anywhere. I would like to see that list too.
I think it's part of that summer
Okay.
sale, and I think the VR. I think that VR2 is just so not. I mean, on their radar
Yeah.
anymore. So they do have a page like, hey, if you go to VR2 page, it shows like at the bottom is like at least 2 rolls of games coming out later this year, but nothing major. So I mean, definitely
Metro.
nothing from
Was
Sony.
it the Metro games?
Metro is probably the last big one.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point. Yeah, I mean the Metro exclusive one. I think it's supposed to be takes place after the third game or something like that. So, but I don't know. We'll see if it takes off. The tech's really awesome. It's really cool. It sucks. I think the thing I would have day one it immediately if it would have had that backwards compatibility somehow. But it is what it is. So there's a couple of visual novel games in there. At some point, I'll probably pick up and go through. I have a physical copy for this Chronia. I think it's one of them. I think they came out with a physical copy in the UK. So I got that one and had that shipped maybe months ago because I think it was mispriced at like $16. So.
Cool.
But I mean, I'll dive in there. But I think at this point, I mean, the only use case on that will be Resident Evil, in my opinion. Resident Evil Village and 4, and I mean, if you guys actually fire up Among Us, Among Us, I'll join you on that one. I'll play some Half-Life Alyx on there, sure. I got a PC strong enough to play it, so I think that's on sale this week as well. So hopefully that'll stay true, and
It is on sale on Steam, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got, Brant?
But yeah, I didn't mean to take over, Brant. Yeah.
No, I like the PSVR 2 updates.
Nothing else, Brant?
That's it.
me, man.
That's it. PSVR 2. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.